Namaste aspirants. Welcome to Prime Time by CivicCentre IAS, the current affairs show of week 10 of subject History, using 10 plus years of UPSC reverse engineering, PYQ mastery and real-time current affairs tracking from PIB, The Hindu, Indian Express and other sources, all filtered for you. These are the hand-picked high weightage topics plus one bonus topic of importance that dominated this week. The topics are India's first digital museum of tribal freedom fighters, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, the fourth edition of Kashi Tamil Sangamam, Sree Narayana Guru, Arya Samaj, and the most important topic is 150 years of Vande Mataram. Let's quickly start with the first topic, that is India's first digital museum of tribal freedom fighters. A significant cultural and historical event that took place recently is Prime Minister inaugurating India's first digital museum, the Shahid Veer Narayan Singh Memorial and Tribal Freedom Fighters Museum in Nava Raipur, Atalnagar, Chhattisgarh. The museum is a crucial step in giving due recognition to the overlooked history of tribal resistance against colonial rule, ensuring their sacrifices are integrated into the national narrative. The museum is dedicated to Shahid Veer Narayan Singh, the leader of Binjwar tribe, and is widely recognized as Chhattisgarh's first freedom fighter. He was born in 1795 in Shonkan. His legacy was one of a just and benevolent ruler dedicated to the welfare of his people. His father, Ramasai Singh, had previously rebelled against British and the Bosols, setting a precedent and resistance. His act of defiance came during the 1856 famine, where he seized grain from a merchant storage to feed the starving villagers, which led to his arrest. After escaping jail in 1857, he raised an army of 500 tribals and actively fought against the British during the 1857 revolt, but was eventually captured and executed in December 1857, cementing his martyrdom. Chhattisgarh honors his sacrifice by instituting the Shahid Veer Narayan Singh Samman for outstanding work in tribal upliftment. Veer Narayan Singh's execution in December 1857 places him as one of the earliest martyrs of the 1857 revolt in the region, predating many better known regional heroes. The museum uses a digital format to present a powerful chronological story of resistance through thematic galleries, which is vital for understanding the depth of tribal movements. Reception area. It celebrates the courage and the legacy of Chhattisgarh's tribal freedom fighters. Early galleries. It sets the context depicting the traditional tribal way of life and how it was disrupted and exploited by both Maratha and British rulers. Freedom struggles. It highlights us the key uprisings of Halba, Bhopalpatnam, Paralkot, Tarapur, Murai, Bhumal Kranti. It showcases the geographical spread and intensity as well. Bhumal Kranti. The museum chronicles this major revolt led by Gundadhar and Lal Kalinder Singh. Importantly, it also features the women's resistance. It features the Rani Choris Kranti in 1878, recognizing a significant women-led protest movement. Galleries move forward to showcase tribal participation in the later phase of the freedom struggle through the movements like Janda Satyagraha and the Jangal Satyagraha, demonstrating their alignment with Mahatma Gandhi's non-violent movements. The museum's fully digital format is significant as it allows for the dynamic presentation of oral oral histories, folk songs, and 3D virtual recreations of the uprisings, effectively countering the lack of traditional written documents for tribal movements. This museum is a direct educational resource for tribal uprisings. By declaring this as the first digital museum and focusing on tribal history, the government is reinforcing the message of inclusive history and cultural preservation under the broader Azadi Ki Amrit Mahotsav narrative. The museum stands as a permanent memorial honoring Veer Narayan Singh as the ultimate symbol of tribal resistance and valor. The next topic in line is Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Every year, the birthday of Guru Nanak Dev, the founder of Sikhism and the first Guru, is celebrated with the reverence as Guru Purab or Guru Nanak Jayanti. He was born on November 5th, 1469 in Rai Boi Ki Talandi, now Nanak Sahib in Pakistan. 2025 marks the 556th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. This is a crucial topic for understanding the medieval Bhakti movements and social reforms. The Guru lived during the age of Lodi dynasty and the establishment of Mughal ruler under Babur. His compositions critique the contemporary political cruelty and social malaise, making his spiritual movement a subtle political statement as well. Guru Nanak's core message, established through extensive travels, was one of the universal humanity and interfaith harmony by both Bhakti and Sufi teachings. Guru Nanak Dev Ji rejected ritualism, priesthood, and external religious displays, advocating for direct and ethical relationship with God. His philosophy is encapsulated with three core principles. They are Nam Japna, belief in one God, Ik Onkar, which is formless and present everywhere. The focus is on internal devotion and constant remembrance of divine name through meditation and prayer. Krit Karni, honest earning. He promoted the ideal of the household. This principle emphasizes earning a livelihood honestly, ethically, and through hard work, condemning exploitation and promoting the dignity of labor. One Chekna, sharing with the needy, advocating for social responsibility by encouraging followers to share their earnings with the community and the needy, promoting the concept of Daswand, that is, 1/10 donation. His teachings, including 974 hymns and primary works like Japji Sahib, Siddh Ghost, were recorded in the Guru Granth Sahib in Gurumukhi script. While rooted in Bhakti tradition, his concept of Ik Onkar and a formless God was an attempt to transcend the ritualistic Saguna worship of popular Hinduism and the rigid laws of Orthodox Islam, creating a synthesized, practical spiritual path. His teachings were revolutionary because they directly challenged the caste system and social stratification of 15th century. He vehemently opposed caste discrimination and social injustice, asserting that all humans are equal regardless of their background, as they are all created by one God. That is, he advocated equality and justice. He established two key institutions to enforce social equality. One among them is Langar, the free community kitchen, which people of all castes, religions, and social standing sit together in Pangat, that is a common row, to share a meal, thereby dismantling untouchability and symbolizing equality and service. And the next in line is Sangat. It is a collective congregation which emphasized communal learning and devotion, further eroding hierarchical distinctions. Before passing away in 1539, having established the community centers at Kartarpur Sahib, Guru Nanak appointed his follower Lehana as his successor, who later became Guru Angad. Guru Angad is credited with formalizing the Gurumukhi script, making Guru's hymns and the subsequent holy text, the Guru Granth Sahib, uniquely accessible to the common people, distancing it from Sanskrit dominance. Guru Nanak Dev Ji's message of equality, honest living, and selfless service remains a profound guide for contemporary society, particularly in addressing the issues of social equality and communal harmony. The next topic is the fourth edition of Kashi Tamil Sangamam 4.0 2025. The city of Varanasi is preparing to host the fourth edition of Kashi Tamil Sangamam 2025 beginning in December 2025. This initiative, envisioned by the Prime Minister, is much more than a cultural exchange. It is a continuing journey in search of knowledge and a celebration of oneness of Indian culture, embodying the spirit of Ek Bharat, Shrestha Bharat. Building on the success of the previous three editions, KTS 4.0 aims to strengthen the cultural intellectual ties between Tamil Nadu and Kashi, demonstrating the fundamental unity of our civilization. The Sangamam is a practical implementation of the National Education Policy 2020 recommendation for promoting Indian languages and Indian knowledge systems, encouraging academic collaborations between institutions like BHU and IIT Madras. The connection goes back centuries. For instance, Pandya rulers of Madurai established the Kashi Vishwanath temple in Tenkasi, Tamil Nadu, demonstrating a reciprocal relationship long before the colonial rule. The theme for KTS 4.0 is Let Us Learn Tamil, Karpom Tamil. This theme signals a powerful push for linguistic unity and cultural integration. The initiative promotes the idea that all Indian languages belong to one Bharatiya Bhasha family. By focusing on spreading Tamil language and literature across India, it actively encourages linguistic unity and cultural integration, breaking down the perceived regional barriers. The Kashi Tamil Sangamam is not a one-off event but a continuing journey aimed at celebrating the shared civilizational roots and oneness of Indian culture central to Ek Bharat Shrestha Bharat initiative. KTS 1.0. The inaugural edition KTS 1.0 was held from November 16 to 15 December 2022 at Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi. The edition was crucial for establishing the foundational connection and interest between Tamil Nadu and Kashi. It was marked by its massive scale, featuring over 2,500 participants from Tamil Nadu across 12 different walks of life. These delegates undertook 8 days tour to Varanasi, Prayagraj and Ayodhya, setting the precedent for cross-regional engagement. The second edition KTS 2.2 held in December 2023 at Namoghat, Varanasi, focused on showcasing technology aiding cultural integration and accessibility. A key highlight was technological integration of real-time app-based Tamil translation of PM's speech. This move demonstrated a clear intent to ensure the event was linguistically accessible and utilized modern tools to bridge communication gaps, reinforcing the theme of national unity. KTS 3.0. The third edition KTS 3.2 was held in February 2025. It focused on deepening the intellectual and mythological connections between the North and the South. The focus was specifically on the legacy of Sage Agasthyar, a revered mythological figure who is believed to have carried South Indian traditions from Kashi. This edition aimed to bridge ancient tradition with modern discourse, demonstrating that the cultural unity between Kashi and Tamil Nadu is deeply rooted in shared history and legend. These successive editions show the Sangamam's evolution from a large-scale introductory exchange to a focused initiative on intellectual and emotional integration. KTS demonstrates how soft power and intellectual dialogue can be used to showcase India's heritage. It brings to forefront the deep historical links like mythological, architectural, and philosophical between these two ancient cultural centers. It is a prime example of a proactive policy designed under Ek Bharat Shrestha Bharat scheme, specifically targeting emotional integration and regional parity by celebrating the diversity and shared foundation of Indian languages. The Kashi Tamil Sangamam is thus a flagship initiative that seeks to replace narratives of division with celebration of shared civilizational roots. The next topic is Sree Narayan Guru. The President of India inaugurated the event marking the Mahasamadhi centenary of Sree Narayan Guru. This recognition is a national acknowledgement of his profound philosophical and social impact, especially in the context of combating caste discrimination. He was born in 1856 in Kerala into the Ezwa caste, an oppressed community at the time. His life was dedicated to challenging social injustice and pursuing spiritual enlightenment as a means of uplifting the marginalized. Sree Narayan Guru was not just a social reformer but a profound philosopher who advocated for openness, inclusivity, and universal humanity. His teachings influenced towering figures like Mahatma Gandhi and Rabindranath Tagore. His core message is encapsulated in the simple yet revolutionary concept Oru Jati, Oru Matam, Oru Daivam, Manushyanam, which translates to one caste, one religion, one God for mankind. He also preached a message of spiritual tolerance, famously stating, whichever be the religion of man, it suffuses if it makes a better man. He believed that individual actions should be beneficial not just to oneself but also to others. Acts done for oneself should also benefit others. The most significant philosophical point in his concept of practical Advaita or humanistic Advaita, unlike the traditional Advaita of Shankaracharya, which often favored renunciation. Sree Narayan Guru turned the principle of oneness of ultimate reality into a charter for social equality in the material world. Sree Narayan Guru pioneered a revolution in Kerala by attacking the institutional roots of caste-based oppression, the Arvipuram movement. This was his landmark act of defiance. He consecrated a Lord Shiva temple at Arvipuram, personally installing the idol. This act directly challenged the Brahmanical monopoly over priesthood and temple entry, marking the beginning of anti-caste revolution in Kerala. He subsequently established 40 plus temples where people of all castes could worship, promoting the idea that God belongs to everyone. Though he passed away in 1928, his movement laid the ideological foundation for Vaikom Satyagraha, a major nonviolent movement against caste discrimination and untouchability that demanded the opening of temple roads to all communities. During the Vaikom Satyagraha, Gandhi visited Shivagiri and met the Guru. Their conversation is notable. The Guru emphasized education and wealth for the upliftment of lower castes, while Gandhi prioritized the reform of eating habits and interdining. This highlights the Guru's focus on structural and economic empowerment over mere social symbolism. The Sree Narayana Guru Dharma Paripalana Yogam was established in 1903 to organize and institutionalize his movement focusing on the welfare, education, and social progress of the Ezwa community and all marginalized sections. Shivagiri Mutt was founded in 1924 as a spiritual center to promote his values of cleanliness, education, devotion, agriculture, handicrafts, and trade. He was a prolific writer, authoring important works like Advaita Deepika, Atma Vilasam, Daiva Dasakam, and Brahmavidya Panchakam. The Guru's later temple entry consecrations became increasingly abstract. He consecrated a mirror symbolizing the self as God and a slab with the words truth, ethics, compassion, love, entirely moving beyond ideal worship to emphasize abstract moral and ethical principles. Sri Narayana Guru's life concluded with his Mahasamadhi on 20 September 1928, but it continues to inspire India's fight for social justice, proving that spiritual enlightenment is necessarily leads to social action.
Hello everyone. As you all know, Civil Services Prime Time is one of its kind initiative where we are teaching the students current affairs related to that particular subject one day at a time. అంటే ఒక వారంలో జరిగిన కరెంట్ అఫైర్స్ అన్ని ఒక సబ్జెక్ట్ కి సంబంధించి మేము ఒక రోజులో చెప్తున్నాం. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ ఆల్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ద రివర్స్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ టెక్నిక్. బికాస్ మీరు ప్రతి వీడియో చూసినట్టయితే ఎండ్ లో ప్రీవియస్ ఇయర్ క్వశ్చన్స్ ప్రిలిమ్స్ చేస్తున్నాము, అలాగే ఒక క్వశ్చన్ మెయిన్స్ చేస్తాం. సో in order to get daily updates at 7 o'clock sharp as we are doing it, subscribe చేసుకోండి, అలాగే bell కూడా click చేయండి so that 7 o'clock కి మీకు immediate గా notification వస్తుంది.
The next topic is Arya Samaj. The Prime Minister addressed the International Arya Mahasammelan 2025 in New Delhi. This major event is a key part of Jnanajyoti festival and commemorates two significant milestones. One is the 200th birth anniversary of Maharshi Dayananda Saraswati, and the other being 150 years of Arya Samaj service to society. The event underscores the government's recognition of Arya Samaj's profound contribution to the social, educational, and cultural awakening of modern India. Maharshi Dayananda Saraswati was born in Gujarat in 1824. His core mission was to reform Hindu society by returning to the pure teachings of the Vedas and thereby eradicating social evils and promoting rationality, equality, and education. He famously gave the motto, "Go back to Vedas." He fiercely advocated for the worship of single formless God, referred to as Om in Vedas, completely rejecting the practice of idol worship and polytheism, which he saw as later corruptions. His ideas was compiled in Satyartha Prakash, the light of truth, were radical for the time. He opposed untouchability, caste discrimination, child marriage, polygamy, and sati. He championed women's education and the remarriage of widows, advocating for a classless, merit-based society. Recognizing the need for continuing, he founded Paropakarani Sabha in 1882 to publish his works. His vision was further carried forward by his followers who founded the highly influential Dayanand Anglo-Vedic schools in 1886. Maharshi Dayananda Saraswati was the first to declare Swaraj as the highest ideal and goal for Indians. This call was adopted later by Lokmanya Tilak and became central to the later national movement, showcasing Dayanand's immense political influence. In his writings, Dayanand advocated for a form of Vedic-inspired democratic republican government, emphasizing a council of elected officials and a system of checks and balances influenced by Kautilya's Arthashastra. He was not just a religious figure but also a political architect. Arya Samaj was officially founded by Swami Dayananda Saraswati in Bombay in 1875. It is a Hindu reform movement whose goal is to purify Hinduism by eliminating superstitions, elaborate rituals, and social evils. Also, caste rigidity, positioning the Vedas as the supreme and infallible source of knowledge and universal truth. The Arya Samaj is monotheistic Hindu reform movement rejecting idol worship, animal sacrifices, and orthodox customs not rooted in Vedas. It emphasized on karma and samsara while upholding Vedic rituals like yajna. Arya Samaj translated its philosophy into widespread social action, leaving a deep imprint on India's social fabric. It founded numerous DAV schools, orphanages, and widow homes, significantly contributing to education and welfare across India. It actively promoted women's education, a revolutionary step, intercaste marriages, and campaigned rigorously against child marriages and untouchability. The Shuddhi movement. The Samaj led Shuddhi movement aimed at reconversion of Hindus who had embraced other religions, contributing to religious revival and unity. Key leaders like Swami Shraddhanand, who founded Gurukul Kangri University, ensured the movement's values of social reform and national unity were institutionalized. However, the movement has been split after his death into DAV College wing, which favored modern Western style education integrated with Vedic teaching, and the Gurukul wing, led by Swami Shraddhanand, which advocated for a purely traditional Vedic system. This internal debate reflected the larger Indian struggle to reconcile modernity with tradition. Maharshi Dayananda Saraswati, whom Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan called a maker of modern India, laid the groundwork for rational, egalitarian, and self respecting Hindu identity, making Arya Samaj one of the most transformative movements of 19th and 20th centuries. Let's quickly start with the most important topic for this week, which is 150 years of Vande Mataram. The nation is celebrating the 150th anniversary of its national song Vande Mataram with a year-long festives inaugurated by Narendra Modi on 7th November 2025. The song was composed by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee in Sanskrit and it first appeared in his famous novel Anand Math in 1882. The initiative aims to reconnect citizens, especially youth and students, with song's revolutionary spirit and ensuring its legacy, which is tied to unity, sacrifice, and devotion, which shall be embedded in future generations. Bankim Chandra Chatterjee was a pioneer of modern Bengali literature and a profound influence on early Indian nationalism. He was one of the two graduates in Calcutta University and served in British administration as deputy collector. He authored Anand Math, which depicted the Sannyasi rebellion, the novel which promoted patriotism as a spiritual duty and was later banned by British. His notable works include Rajmohan's Wife, The first Indian novel in English, Durgesh Nandini, Kapal Kundala, Vishabriksha, which tackled social issues like women's rights, child marriage, and caste discrimination. Vande Mataram was first used as political slogan on 7th August 1905 during the Swadeshi and anti-partition movement in Bengal. Its power to mobilize and unite Indians led the British to ban its public singing. Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore sang Vande Mataram at Calcutta session of Indian National Congress in 1896. It was sung during the Varanasi session of the Congress uh, in 1905, officially adopting it for the all India occasions. The song transcended regional and linguistic barriers, becoming the Mahamantra of nation building and a beacon for revolutionaries like Madam Bikaji Kama, who had Vande Mataram written on the first version of Indian flag she unfurled abroad in 1907. Vande Mataram is composed in a mixed style called Tatsma Bengali, a highly Sanskritized form of Bengali, making it intelligible across many North Indian languages. Due to objections raised by Muslim League regarding the song's later stanzas, which invoked Hindu deity Durga, the Congress Working Committee adapted only the first two non-controversial verses as its national song in 1937. On January 24, 1950, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, the first President of India and the President of the Constituent Assembly, announced Janagana Mana would be the national anthem and Vande Mataram for its key role in the freedom would be honored as national song. India's constitution does not explicitly mention a national song or provide legal provisions for its mandatory singing. The Supreme Court has affirmed that while citizens must respect national anthem under Article 51A, Clause A of fundamental duties, the national song does not enjoy the same explicit legal or constitutional backing though it retains immense historical and emotional relevance. While Tagore first sang it, the tune for the original composition is often credited to Jadunath Bhattacharya. Immediately after, Bankim Chandra Chatterjee composed it. The revolutionary philosopher Sri Aurobindo considered Vande Mataram a sacred word, stating that motherland was not merely a stretch of land, but a divine mother. He also published a famous English translation of the song in his journal, which gave it a global recognition. Let's quickly look into the PYQs. First question. With reference to religious history of India, consider the following statements. Arya Samaj was founded in 1875. Arya Samaj's aim was to reform Hindu religion and society. Arya Samaj believed in infallibility of the Vedas. Yes, the first statement is correct. It was founded in 1875 by Swami Dayananda Saraswati in Bombay, though headquarters was later moved to Lahore. This movement aimed to revive Vedic ideals and reform Hindu society. The Arya Samaj was a reformist movement within Hinduism. The key objectives is to purify Hinduism by removing superstitions, idol worship, and caste discrimination, to promote Vedic values, rationality, and education, to work for social reforms, women's education, widow remarriage, opposition to child marriages, and upliftment of lower castes, to all promote Swadeshi and nationalism, Swami Dayananda Saraswati upheld the Vedas as the ultimate and infallible authority in all spiritual and moral matters. His famous slogan was "Go back to Vedas." Arya Samaj rejected later religious texts like Puranas, idol worship, and priestly rituals, which it viewed as corruptions of Vedic tradition. Hence, all the three given statements are correct. Who among the following was or were associated with the Vedic song with the song Vande Mataram? Vande Mataram was composed by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee in Sanskrit and Bengali in his novel Anandamath. This song was a tribute to motherland, portraying India as mother goddesses. Rabindranath Tagore was the first to sing Vande Mataram in 1896 at Indian National Congress session in Calcutta. He set it to a music, giving it a melodious and devotional tone. Thus, he played a key role in popularizing the song across the national movement. Mahatma Gandhi revered Vande Mataram as a spiritual and patriotic hymn. He often quoted it as a symbol of unity, sacrifice, and love for motherland, though he emphasized respect for all religions in its interpretation. Gandhi defended the song's use in the freedom struggle, clarifying it should be seen as a hymn to a nation, not a deity. Subhash Chandra Bose adopted Vande Mataram as a battle cry and greeting in the Indian National Army. It was also used as a motto during his Azad Hind movement against British rule. This song became a symbol of armed resistance under his leadership. Hence, all the four members Mahatma Gandhi, Rabindranath Tagore, Bankim Chatterjee, Subhash Chandra Bose were associated with the song Vande Mataram. Consider the following statements about Sree Narayana Guru. He was a social reformer from Kerala. He gave the message one caste, one religion, one God for man. He established Sree Narayana Dharma Paripalana Yogam to work for social equality. Sree Narayana Guru was one of the most influential and spiritual reformers of modern Kerala. He was born into Ezwa community, which was considered lower caste under the caste hierarchy. He challenged rigid caste system, advocating education, social upliftment, and equality. His famous teaching was Oru Jati, Oru Matam, Oru Daivam Manushyanu. That means one caste, one religion, and one God for man. It was a universalist and humanist message emphasizing social harmony and equality beyond caste and religious divisions. In 1903, Sree Narayana Guru, along with Dr. Padmanabhan Palpu, founded Sree Narayana Dharma Paripalana Yogam, which aimed to promote education among backward classes, encourage social reforms and self-respect movements, work for spiritual and economic upliftment of the oppressed community. Hence, all the three statements are correct. Consider the following statements about Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji. He was the first Sikh Guru and the founder of Sikhism. He was born in Nanakan Sahib. He spread the message of truth, unity of God, equality, and social justice. His teachings laid the foundation of the Sikh faith. The Guru Granth Sahib, the holy scripture of Sikhism, contains the hymns of Guru Nanak Dev and the subsequent Sikh Gurus. It also includes verses from Hindu and Muslim saints, symbolizing universal spirituality and inclusiveness. He emphasized three key principles: Naam Japna, Kirt Karani, Vand Chekna. He rejected caste discrimination, ritualism, and superstition, promoting equality and compassion as well as service. Hence, all the three statements are correct. Which of the following statements about Arya Samaj, which emerged in late 19th century, are correct? Arya Samaj was founded by Swami Dayananda Saraswati in 1875 for strong support among trading and urban middle class, particularly in Punjab, Gujarat and western Uttar Pradesh. Many of its followers came from Vaishya castes who were attracted to its reformist, nationalist, and revivalist message. The Shuddhi movement was a major reform effort initiated by the Arya Samaj. It aimed at reconversion of those who had left Hinduism, especially to Islam or Christianity, back into the Hindu fold. It also symbolized social and cultural unity among Hindus and was a part of Samaj's religious revivalism. Within the Arya Samaj, there were two broad ideological groups. Moderates, led by Lala Hansraj and Lala Lajpat Rai, established the Dayanand Anglo-Vedic schools and colleges, blending Western education with Vedic principles, whereas Orthodox or radical group focused more on Vedic orthodoxy and religious purity. The Arya Samaj actually had a larger mass base and wider geographical influence than Brahma Samaj, especially in North and Western India. The Brahma Samaj remained largely confined to Bengal and among the English educated elite. Hence, statements 1, 2, and 3 are correct. Now, let's look into one of the previous year mains question. What were the major teachings of Guru Nanak? Explain their relevance in the contemporary world. In your introduction to this answer, you need to mention the idea to tell the examiner who Guru Nanak Ji was and what was his philosophy centered on. You can begin in two ways, either with the factual opening or with the philosophical quote. In the factual opening, you can start with Guru Nanak Dev as a founder of Sikhism and the first Sikh Guru who emphasized spiritual equality, ethical living, and service to humanity, challenging caste hierarchies. Coming to the quote based, you can write as there is no Hindu, there is no Muslim, only human beings. In fact, this statement of Guru Nanak captures his vision of unity, equality, and compassion. Next, in the first part of the body, you can write about the first part of the question, which is what are the major teachings of Guru Nanak. Hence, here you use bullet points or subheadings to keep it clean and examiner friendly. You can write about belief in one God, equality of all, honest living, that is Krit Kirani, Vande Chekna, service, rejection of ritualism, remembrance of God, Nam Smaran. Now comes the most important part of the question, that is, explain the relevance in the contemporary world. This shows the analytical ability of a student. Hence, you can organize it with relevance into today's world, like in different headings: equality and social justice, ethical living and integrity, peace and religious harmony, spiritual awareness amidst materialism, environment and collective responsibility. Finally, wrap your answer beautifully with the conclusion. In conclusion, you can summarize and uplift the message, but do not just restate these points. You can write the conclusion as Guru Nanak Dev teachings transcend time and geography, offering a moral compass for an age troubled by inequality and intolerance. His universal vision of oneness, honesty, and compassion remains a guiding light for humanity's collective progress. Clarity, structure, and connection to current relevance is what that earns you marks in the question. Send your answers to response@civiccentre.in for IAS Masters valuable feedback. Only when you start writing, you do better. Thank you for listening to the episode and subscribe to the channel for regular updates.
CivicCentre IAS is offering Telangana Group 1 Prelims cum Mains classes as well as Andhra Pradesh Group 1 Prelims cum Mains classes in English medium for a period of 8 to 10 months. This also covers the complete NCERT textbooks and statewide textbooks. So, what are you waiting for? Learn through reverse engineering technique today. Admissions are in progress. Join now. visit our website. Thank you.